wins for the Toronto Raptors and another overtime victory. This time, not triple overtime. It only needed the one as the Raptors dropped the Chicago Bulls 127-120 at Scotiabank Arena. And with the win, with the fourth consecutive win for the Raps, the Raptors are now 4 games over 500, I believe, for the first time this season at 27-23, and they're firing on all cylinders. What a game tonight. But before we touch on the game, first off, great seeing DeMar DeRozan back, even though it's in a Chicago Bulls jersey, and it still hurts it sometimes. But Fred VanVleet, huge congrats for betting on himself. Fred VanVleet for becoming the first-time All-Star. Well-deserved. We all saw this coming a mile away, and he got it done. Big ups for Fred VanVleet, and congrats to him. You saw all the congratulations from the players. You saw DeMar come over. I mean, it was great, right? And well-deserved for this kid. You know, right from the get-go of his career, everyone doubted him, never got drafted. Went through the system with the Raptors, you know, goes into the G League. I believe him and Pascal won that title down there. Comes up here as part of the original bench mob, you know, and then gets the starting minutes, or then starts making an impact in that 2019 playoff run, and gets more or less against the Bucks once his new baby popped out, and the rest is history for Fred VanVleet. He takes over for Kyle Lowry, and he's a first-time All-Star. Big-time Fred VanVleet shout-out. Huge job for him tonight as well. And the Raptors, they win again. They've beaten the Heat twice, the Hawks, who had won 7 consecutive, and the Chicago Bulls, the first-place team in the Eastern Conference. You knocked the Heat out of first by beating them twice. You now beat the number 1 team in Chicago, who overtook the Heat. And the Hawks had won 7 straight. They just beat the Phoenix Suns today. Now, I believe they had Trae Young in that game, so that's going to be a little bit different when we play them tomorrow, so we'll see what happens there. But incredible stuff from the Raptors tonight. Let's break down this puppy, all right? First quarter, again, it was a very tight game for the most part. Raptors win the first quarter 26-24. Yeah, you're only up by 2 at the end of 1. Second quarter, same type of thing. 28-26 Raptors. In the quarter, you're up by 4 at the break. There was no real sustained runs from each team in this game. It was a very back and forth. You know, leads didn't really get above 10 very often. I don't even know if it got to 50. Actually, you know what? I think the Raptors' biggest lead was 11, and their biggest lead was 4. It never got above a 15-point lead for either team. That's how tight this one was. And in the third quarter, Raptors defense, slips up a little bit. You allow 31, but you score 33. You win the quarter by 2. You're up by 6 going into the fourth quarter. You're feeling okay at one point. You get like a 9-10 point lead in the fourth. But you know in the back of your head that the Bulls have 2 guys that can say, I'm taking this game over. DeMar and obviously Zach LaVine. And we were just kind of waiting for that. And my turning point was when DeMar DeRozan it was either a jump shot or he went to the rim and he didn't get the call. Raptors come down the other way and they get a call. And they go to the free throw line. And as they're at the free throw line, DeMar is talking to the official, and it's pretty animated on DeMar's front. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, okay, he ain't happy, which is wild because he's already been to the free throw line 10 times in the game, I believe, to this point. He's going to try something the next possession. You got to feel that. And what does he do the very next 2 possessions? Takes the ball right to the rim, gets to the free throw line. There's 4 more attempts. He knocks all 4 down. You saw that one coming. Then he makes the big-time shot late. 6 points there for DeMar in that latter half of the fourth quarter. And the Raptors, you know, I believe it was a tie game at this point. Then they have the ball, right? And Zach LaVine and Gary Trent go knee on knee. Trent goes down, leaving LaVine, and I forgot the other guy's name, inside the paint, wide open. They fire it in there, and it gets to Demosu. His name is all, it's very confusing. Either way, gets to him, and he just touch passes to LaVine. LaVine's got his back to him, goes off his shoulder, and drops down right into the pocket of Nikola Vukovic, who fires it up, and it goes in. They initially don't know what the hell if it counts or not, so they go to review, and it counts by about yay much. And the Raptors now trail by 2. The offense late struggles, and now you're trailing this game. And in the dying seconds, they get a shot off, they miss it, and who's there to clean up the garbage is Scotty Barnes. And what a job for Scotty getting on the offensive boards and putting that thing up and through. And we are tied at 114 heading into now overtime. And obviously the Raptors lose that quarter 33-27. DeMar gets to the free throw line 14 times. And we head to overtime for the second time in as many games. But in that fourth quarter, OG makes a couple big threes. And the Raptors end up having a 2-point lead. And who makes the dagger shot? Gary Trent Jr. gets the wide open three. No one contests him. They see him wide open. They're like, oh no. And he takes it. He's calm, controlled, fires it up, and drills it to make it a 5-point game. Levine misses the layup. I believe Pascal knocked down a couple free throws. And that is the game. The Raptors win it 127-120. They win the overtime quarter or session 13-6. And they win another ball game. Gutsy. Absolutely gutsy for the Toronto Raptors. Lots of 40-minute nights. And of course, you're on the first night of a back-to-back. This looks very similar to that Miami triple overtime game, except no one's in the 50-minute range. But holy smokes. Now, let's get to the team stats here real quick. Pascal Siakam, incredible. I mean, has this guy turned a corner or what? He's putting up career highs in just about everything. 25 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists in the game. And I'm like, come on. How many times is he just crashing the glass and getting these boards and these little putbacks? He also had 7 assists in the game. Shot 9 for 22. Did struggle in the middle frames, but made some shots late. And obviously made a couple free throws in the big moments. So great job from him. 6 of 7 from the free throw line. 1 of 4 from 3. 2 steals and a block. And I believe he played 45 minutes, did Pascal Siakam. Heck of a game for Spicy P. He was great again. Obviously didn't make the All-Star team. And you know what? I get it because the guy missed the first month and a half. And we can all agree for the next month and a half, he wasn't really great. So I understand why he was not named to the All-Star team. But as of right now, if he played like this from the get-go of the season, he would definitely be an All-Star. But unfortunately, it's not the case. It's okay for Pascal. It doesn't really matter. It shouldn't matter too much. It's all about winning with this squad, and he did a job tonight against the Bulls. Scotty Barnes, look, he was absolutely great. Absolutely great. And it's wild because you see him in overtime. He's hobbling basically on one foot, but he's making some incredible plays. What a job for Scotty. 21, 8, and 2 on 9 of 16 shooting. He was 2 of 4 from three-point range. I mean, this was a game where Scotty looked engaged. And this will be, and remember, he was 9 of 16 from the field. The guy started 1 of 5. Tells you how much he got locked in as the game went along. So a great job from Scotty OG Anunoby, 21 points, 1 board, 6 dimes on 8 of 15 shooting. He was 5 of 8 from three-point range, including 2 massive three-point shots there in overtime. Had a steal and a block to the young OG. And the All-Star himself, Fred VanVleet. 21 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, shot 6 of 19, was 6 of 6 from the line, 3 of 9 from three-point range, 2 steals in the game for Freddie V, and he's just going out there and doing his thing. He's just going to go out there and do his thing, whether it's making a lot of shots, whether it's facilitating with the 9 dimes, or he's going to help you on the defensive end with a couple steals. Great job from Fred VanVleet tonight. Now, Gary Trent Jr., the streak ends for Gary. No 30-point performance tonight, unfortunately. However, you think I care? You think he cares? He knocked down the dagger 3 to win the game. That's the most important part. 16 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists on 5 of 13 shooting, 3 of 3 from the line, 3 of 8 from three-point range, and 2 steals for Gary Trent, including a massive one there in overtime. Just a careless pass, I believe it was from Zach LaVine, and Raptors missed a shot. They got the rebound and a careless pass where Gary Trent steals it right back. And I believe that might have led to the game-winning shot. So just an incredible game for Gary Trent Jr. in other ways other than scoring in this one. So great job from him. Now, the bench gave you some lift today. Can we talk about Chris Boucher for a sec? I mean, this guy was incredible tonight. I mean, you guys know that I'm not the biggest Boucher fan. But you got to give the kid kudos today. He was active on the glass. He was making shots. He was active without the ball. And he was just getting to the lanes, getting to the wide open shots and making shots. He was 16, 10, and 1. 8 of 14 from the field, 2 steals and a denial in the game. I believe he took a charge or 2 in the game. Like, Boucher did so many things. in this one to help the Raptors win. And when Scotty left the game, in overtime with that little foot injury that he had going, or ankle, whatever it was, that layup from Zach LaVine that could have brought it back to 3, and you never know what would have happened, Boucher contested that shot. Now, should he have made the bucket anyways? Yeah, probably. But the fact that he was feeling it in the game, if we can get something like that from Boucher on a night-to-night basis coming off the bench, oh my God, we'll be in great shape. And Precious Achiuwa, shooting-wise, we all know he's really up and down, 5 points in the game on 2 of 9 shooting, but kind of 11 rebounds, 11 boards, and an assist. Giving you the glass. Look at him and Boucher combined for 21 rebounds. They were awesome tonight on the glass. Now, we all know the problem with this team. We still need that bench scoring, that bench shooting. Now, with the Raptors winning as much as they are, 27-23, they're forcing Masai's hand to make something happen. You can't forget Delano Benton, by the way. The stat line doesn't suggest it. He did have 6 rebounds in the game, but man, was he active in this game. And I love what we saw from Delano in this one. Now, let's get to the team stats. Chicago shot 48% from the field, 41% from 3, and 92% from the line. Like, they flat out dominated the Raptors there in that sense. Raptors shot 42% from the field, 39% from 3, which, from the 3 is not bad, but only 42% of the field is not great. 90% of the free throw line, which we are not used to seeing, but it is beautiful to watch. But the reason this Raptor team won this game is the extra opportunities. For one, if you count the overtime shots, they took the most shots, the most field goal attempts out of all games this year. And if you go by just regulation, they tied the most field goal attempts they had all season. And you know when that was? Triple overtime. So if you're going off of just regulation, today they took the most field goals they have all season long. And they were awesome. Look, +7 on the rebounds, +12 on the offense. The Raptors had 22 offensive boards. It was incredible. Now, I believe the turnovers category, they had 17, we had 12, only a 5 discrepancy. But the points off of those turnovers were +12 in favor of the Raptors. They made them pay for their mistakes, and a big night for the Raptors in that sense. Now, we move on to the next one. And it's tomorrow night, another back-to-back for the Toronto Raptors, the fourth game of the 4 in 5. And they look to do things that we didn't really expect. Sorry, people. And if my aunt's watching again, she's definitely going to see this and really start to yell at me. But, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. You guys understand it. It's late at night. I'm already 3/4 through the video. Got to keep going through it. And they take on the Hawks again. Tomorrow night, it's a 7:30 tip-off there in Toronto. So the Raptors, good news, they don't have to travel. Atlanta has to come here. Very similar to what happened the last time we were in Atlanta. I believe they weren't on the back-to-back, though. Now, the question is, will Trae Young play? And if he does, it's going to be another test for this young Raptors squad. Obviously, Trae did not play in that game in Atlanta. Who knows if he'll play tomorrow? I believe he was in the lineup tonight against the Suns. So will he be there in the back-to-back against the Raptors in Toronto? We'll have to wait and see. But either way, you got to show up and you got to do a job no matter who the heck's on the floor for the Atlanta Hawks. And that team's a team that's, other than that loss to Toronto, they've won 8 of 9, right? They're right on your heels. They're in the number 10 spot. Boston's red hot. The Raptors are red hot. So you got to keep going. And they welcome in the Hawks tomorrow night, all right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, a little bit of a longer video, smack the like button. Do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button. You guys not already. Comment down below thoughts on the video. That's in the game. Would you like? Would you not like from today's game today for the Toronto Raptors? The Twitter link is down below, so follow up. Send me a DM. Do all that great stuff. The Instagram link is also down below. So follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys Leafs edition not till Monday, as it's the post-All-Star break era for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Looking for, I think it's in game number 43, I believe, on the season, as they host the Carolina Hurricanes at Scotiabank Arena. And as for the Toronto Raptors, they host the Atlanta Hawks tomorrow night, 7:30 tip-off there. Raptors looking for 5 straight wins and look to go 5 games over the 500 mark and continue on this roll they've been on lately, one step at a time. And if they finish off this 4 out of 5 stretch, 4-0, wouldn't that be something, all right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll talk to you guys then.